Hello and welcome to the Dominion Daily for August 2nd, 2025. We've got a full random kingdom today, and we don't appear to have any trashing. We do appear to have a 2-5 on tax board. Okay. So yeah, there is some non-terminal draw here. Advisor, Stables, Seer. So that does help with the whole no trashing situation. There's also some terminal draw in the form of Moat and Swashbuckler, but there's no action phase plus actions. Scepter, it's kind of like plus actions. Also kind of like a throne room, depending on how you look at it. But either way, it's not going to enable you to play these cards and then continue your turn for the most part. So we're mostly looking at that the non-terminal draw, Seer, Stables, Advisor, and then there's there are gains with Rice giving you plus buy. I guess Bureaucrat can give you silvers, but and then there's Swashbuckler can get you the treasure chest. I'm not really sure that's something you would want anyway. How many things can you get with Rice? Maybe not super many, actually. Action, attack, treasure, possibly command would be 4. If you hit a moat, that's 5. That's about it. Even $4 Rice, though, is good enough. 3, I mean, well, honestly, on a board like this, 3 is probably good enough in the sense that you would still want to play with it, but I guess we probably do want to play with at least one Scepter just to bump it up to 4. Anyway, So, yeah, what do we want to open here? We've got this 5-2. We should tax something. I mean, I guess taking a moat wouldn't be completely ridiculous. It would ultimately power up the Rice. It could just be the terminal that we have. It does have the potential to defend against Skirmisher, and it does get drawn by Seer. I think, like, given the nature of this board, I think playing without a terminal is a reasonable option, but playing with a moat is also reasonable. I guess the thing is, like, well, for one thing, if we do that, then we can't actually take a 5. Which seems bad. So I don't think we want to do that. If we assume that the bot has a 4-3, then we probably want to tax one of the 3s. Their Chariot Race or Silver. I'm not really sure which. I guess we could also tax Advisor. I mean, I wouldn't open Advisor, but maybe the bot would. I wouldn't necessarily mind getting Advisors later, depending. I mean, it's tricky because, like, Advisor is not very good in a deck that isn't clean and where, like, you can end up, like, seeing, copper Seer, and then your Seer gets discarded. But on the other hand, like, Seer can draw Advisors, so that is a nice synergy. Although the games are going to be pretty limited here, so how many times are we going to be buying advisor over a 5? Probably never, but if we happen to have 4 coins left over or something. Let's see. Skirmisher is only going to be activated by itself or by Bureaucrat, and we're not going to buy Bureaucrat, so I don't necessarily anticipate getting that anytime soon. Which means I kind of don't want to tax Chariot Race or Advisor, because if I go with Seer, I want those cards for myself. So maybe we do just tax Silver. If nothing else, if the bot doesn't already have 5, that makes it hard for the bot to hit 5 without having to take the debt from the Silver, because these cards are not going to be especially good at hitting 5. Yeah. Alright, now... So Seer will be good at drawing our estates and nothing else. Stables is going to cycle our coppers. Like, they're both a little bit awkward in that respect. But I think Seer... Like, I mean, Chariot Race already has the debt off of it. I think Seer has a little bit more upside in that respect. I think we're going to want both. I think I'll start with Seer. Yeah, the bot's already just gone double Chariot Race, which is not very good when you don't have the Seer and you don't have Silver, but, I mean... Another one. Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to take another one, too. Even though it doesn't really do much, but it's really just, again, for the Seer. We're a little bit short of 5 again. Oh, we have an estate on top? Okay, I'll re-erase the estate. We might... Yeah! Alright, we've got 5 again. We have more Chariot Races in our deck than I was expecting, so I guess that means I'm gonna get another Seer. Ooh. Okay. That's fine with me. Alright, another Seer. I think so. I would really like to hit 7. I think just getting another Seer continues to be the best way to try to do that. At some point, maybe like Stables will also help with that at some point, but... Okay, we are hitting 7 here. And we top deck to Seer. Excellent. Let's get the Rice. Oh, I didn't even register Triumphal Arch is here for some reason. Just to check. So we have 3 Chariot Races and 4 Seers. Good to know. That's why we have 9 Triumphal Arch points. We do need to get more Chariot Races if we want to improve that. or we need to get a whole bunch of other stuff. Yeah, there's some nice synergy here. Not just in the Seers drawing the chariot races, but also them setting the chariot races up. Alright, the rice was only worth 2 coins. So, we kind of want... So, Skirmisher, Scepter, Moat. Those are the things that will boost it. Well, and Bureaucrat, but we're not going to get a Bureaucrat, as I've said. We could go for that now, or we could go for another Rice first. Rice Advisor. I mean, I guess the thing is, like, hitting more than 11 is only useful for us to get, like, with the 2 buys is only useful for us to get more rice. So it feels a little bit weird to boost our rice so that we can get more rice when we can just get the rice now. So yeah, I mean, we could also just take the chariot race. It gives us triumphal arch points, but I think I'm gonna take the advisor since it doesn't give us debt, and we're underdrew a little bit here anyway. All right, I guess we advisor first. Ugh. All right, now... I mean, we could just add more draw this turn. Maybe go Stables Advisor. Stables does not play well with either Chariot Race or Seer, I will say. Like, discarding Copper is not a card like that we want to draw back up with either Seer or Chariot Race. So that is a downside to that. We could just stick with the Seer Advisor. Yeah. I do still want to move up the rice, like I said, but I'm not... I mean, I guess we could also go like Advisor Skirmisher. Just like we were further from drawing this turn. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of variance to that, but I think I'm going to just do Advisor Seer. I have a rice on top? Well, I guess I'm not drawing this turn. Okay. I guess we just take another rice here since we have exactly 7 anyway. Oh, Seer on top. Okay. There is an argument here for drawing the Copper instead of the Seer, which is that we should be able to find more chariot races. In fact, those should be both chariot races. Okay. Well, we'll cherry erase the rice. Ugh. All right. Just go double advisor. That should actually increase our triumphal arch points. Yeah. Oh man, what is our somehow like we've added nothing but draw the past couple of turns, and somehow our draws just keep getting worse. it's wild. They tax the stables? You're the one buying stables, not me. Alright. I think I'm just going to take 2 more advisors. And then if we get another seer, that will pump our triumphal arch points again. I mean, it's definitely a little bit dubious having all these advisors, but we should have enough good stuff to make it work. Maybe. There's a seer. Yeah, honestly, like, yeah, we just got a bunch of draw cards discarded, but worked out pretty well anyway. Alright. Piles are getting pretty low. We have a pretty big points lead, though. We could get that Scepter now, or a Skirmisher. Both. Those each cost 6. We could go, like, Advisor, Skirmisher, Scepter. I guess getting more money isn't really necessarily the most important thing, though. I think we should just go ahead and take the debt off the Seers and... Like, Advisor is going to raise our Triumphal Arch ceiling, and then Seers become our Triumphal Arch target. I feel like maybe that's actually just more important than getting more money out of the rice anyway. That being said, we could still grab one of these, and then the Seer. Probably Skirmisher. I think Seer on top means we play Seer first rather than Advisor. Because our ideal Advisor reveal is like triple copper. Now they're getting a Seer? Interesting choice. Alright, Chariot Race the Skirmisher. And now we play the Advisor. Okay. I guess we go Skirmisher Seer here, or... Yeah. Ooh! Alright, I think... We have discarded a rice, so we're basically at this point just trying to set up to get that on top of the chariot race. Oh no. Oh no, wait, no, this is fine. We just play Advisor first. And then we play Chariot Race. I was like, oh, if I Chariot Race the Rice, then I won't be able to draw the other Rice. But of course, we can just play the Advisor first. Duh. All right. Anyway, so I just want to double check 3, 4, 7 Advisors, 1, 2, 3 Chariot Races. So there's no way for the Chariot Races to contribute to Triumph Large points more than the Seers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which we already have 6 of. Okay, so we don't need to worry about that. What is relevant here is we've got a big points lead and the piles are low. So, boop, boop, boop. We can take another skirmisher to attack, or we can just pile drive like Seer, 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 Chariot Race. I'm not seeing, like, they only have 2 Rices. They just can't get enough points for it to be scary, I think. I think we just do the Seer, Seer, Seer thing. And we also get more Triumphal Arch points. So how many Seers do we have now? We have 9 and 7 Advisors, I think. Yeah. So we're not going to gain more, even more Triumphal Arch points, but still, that's a lot. Alright, Advisor on top. I think I'm willing to play Advisor into Advisor on top. That's not enough points. I almost have a win in hand. I mean, we need a little bit more money, but... Oh, so I should have played Seer. And now we do have the win in hand, I think, but I'll keep playing it. Optics of copper. All right. I was going to say that in theory, the bot should probably be discarding the Rice, knowing that I have the win lined up. Found some Seers. Right, I guess in theory we'd want to leave that Seer on top. And we take the last 2 Chariot Races. And then we take a province and a duchy. Yeah. Never did get that scepter to power up the Rice, but it, I don't know, didn't seem that important as things played out. So yeah, I think taxing the silver, I think actually, like, that didn't work. The bot started with like 4 straight Chariot Races, but Chariot Race is not good at hitting 5. From at least not from a deck that just has a bunch of starting cards in it. It's not impossible, but it's like relative to just having your starting cards, it isn't moving the needle very much. And so, and then ultimately they went with Stables, which I think is notably worse than Seer here. Especially if you've got a bunch of Chariot Races in your decks. Seer is going to draw the Chariot Races and is going to set them up, as you know, as you saw with my deck. Yeah, so they go Chariot Race, Chariot Race, Chariot Race, Chariot Race. and then they got an advisor. And then they never got any more chariot races, I guess because they taxed the chariot races at some point not too long after this. Yeah, here they taxed the chariot races, having still not hit 5, which is like a wild choice. I don't know what they should have taxed on 3, but like Rice probably, because like at this point surely I'm going to hit 7 before you hit 7, so you tax Rice just to slow me down a bit. I think that would be the most logical choice to me. Taxing Seer wouldn't be crazy either, because you know that I'm going to want more Seers, but you want more Seers too, and it's relatively more likely that you end up eating the debt there, I think. Although I did buy a Seer the next turn, so. But yeah. So they finally hit 5 here once they got to play the Advisor, which Advisor isn't really that good at helping you hit 5 either, but it's better than Chariot Race. Oh, and they did actually win a Chariot Race as well, drawing the Advisor. And they needed to. Yeah, so even here, they got pretty fortunate. I mean, 4 Chariot Races in the deck, the odds of one of them revealing Advisor aren't that poor, but still need to get a little lucky with that. So, yeah, I think taxing the silver, I think, was really effective. I think it's possible the bot should have just taken the debt there. Taken the debt and then taxed something. Would you even have enough money for that, actually? It would cost you 6 coins out of the 7 coin. No, I guess you wouldn't, but whatever. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, maybe you're just in a bad situation. But yeah, double Chariot Race open just seems... I guess the other thing you could do is open with a moat. Moat is going to be... well, you could take this silver on your turn 2. And then if you take something like Moat turn 1, where you know you're not going to have enough debt that you can't take the silver. Like, Silver Moat is going to do a pretty good job of hitting 5 if you don't get unlucky and see a bunch of the money turn 3 when you're still paying off the debt. I mean, it's still not a great situation to be in, but something like that I think would work better. But anyway, so I think the silver tax was effective, and then obviously like the Seer Chariot Race synergy was effective. The advisors were more just like I had 4 a couple times, so I added advisors, then I was like, hey, I can get a bunch of Triumph Launch points by continuing to add them. I don't actually think, I mean, obviously also that Seer draws them. I don't actually think they were like that great as cards to play in the deck, but they're like good enough. And I think, I was originally thinking, yeah, I probably will play with Stables, but I think in the end, like, I like the deck that I ended up with better than one that would have had Stables in it, because of the reasons I mentioned earlier, where the Stables doesn't really gel very well with like Seer, Chariot Race, or Advisor. Like, none of those cards. I mean, I guess it would be okay with Advisor, like, to just like look at some coppers and draw them up, but mostly you'd end up wanting to draw those coppers with additional Stables. If you have the advisors, then you're going to have good cards in your discard mixed in with those, which like is bad for your Chariot Race and Seer thing, as already mentioned. Yeah, I don't know. I think it worked better to just not have any Stables. The Scepter thing, I think it would have been fine to add a Scepter, but it was also fine not to. Like, we had 3 Rice, so we would have gotten max like 3 coins of value out of that Scepter, on drawing the deck, plus whatever the Scepter itself did, which would probably in most cases just be to give 2 coins, but maybe you'd be like, oh, I didn't draw everything. I'll play Skirmisher or Seer or Chariot Race or something. I don't know. So, yeah, I mean, that would have been fine, but probably not essential. Anyway, all right. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.